Welcome to the Men's Indoor Nationals Div 1 final here, and no better place to come than for a regional match between Glasgow and Strathclyde. A small request there from the Scottish Jill and free child, Johnny Shaw. Looks to be an amazing game here. It's a repeat of the regional semi-final, I believe, where Strathclyde managed to get the victory on Universe, something which Glasgow did not tell me in their pre-game interview, but Strathclyde were more than happy to give. Couldn't actually find Joel Terry for the interview. I am Harry Mason, and I am joined here by
Hayden Christie.
And we are in for a treat. Hayden is the show game uni editors. He wrote the preview for this. Gotta say, you saw this one coming, right?
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are really, really strong at indoors. Although Glasgow had a blip in pool play, they've really pushed themselves to come hard into this final. And like I said, this is going to be a really tough game. The semi-final at regionals should have been the final. These are possibly the two strongest teams here. It's going to be a really interesting watch.
And any predictions for winner or score?
Oh, score. I think Strathclyde would take it on Universe. It's going to be a tough one because Glasgow have a lot of receivers and they'll bat themselves in big shots. Strathclyde be very patient, use their handlers. They've got a lot of depth, so it's going to be a tasty one. And it's a rivalry, so it could get feisty.
Both teams here sort of waiting for the clock to start. We have a little bit of a delay, but I've been very excited. We've had some phenomenal games here. I think my shout out for Oxford would be our game against Edinburgh. I absolutely loved that game. What about for Dundee?
Our game was Edinburgh too. Although we came out 5-1 up, we managed to lose 8-6. Sounds bad, but really, really fun game. Really, really intense.
Yeah, we also had a lovely repeat game against Durham. Both times we played them, Durham have been exceptional. They managed to pip us with an amazing layout for the scuba to take 9th. And it wasn't even like a high scuba. It could have been a backhand. It was just flat, sharp scuba. The layout was exactly at 90 degrees to it. Stole it out of the air. It was just phenomenal as we're finally able to start counting down here. By the way, 2 number 3s.
Gamble and Julian
As well, a little bit of a shout out. We are joined on camera here by
Henrik Young.
And Henrik, you're going to give us unbiased filming of this game, right?
Yeah, going to be totally focused on Glasgow, but you know.
Totally focused on the Glasgow teams. Excellent neutral filming work we're going to get here. And shout out to all the people who've been helping us, who've been filming, who are going to be editing this. Yeah, predicting the score is going to be tough when retroactively everyone can see it, but really exciting game now. And a real sideline building around this and the women's final, which is going to be occurring on the other pitch as the pool goes up. It is high and to the very back corner, taken by Johnny Shaw. Johnny looking inside now, looks at Warnock, can't quite find him. Big scuba has to go up, can Mackie get it? And it looks like Finley was able to give enough pressure there for Glasgow. Instead we have Fraser Kelly picking up here for Glasgow. Chance at an early break. Junkin looks upfield. Ooh, and an early misthrow. I tell you what, these teams better take advantage of this now because we are going to be seeing some hot connections as they warm themselves up. We've already seen in an earlier game this weekend, certainly what Glasgow can do when they're firing. I'm sure now we'll see what Johnny Shaw can do as he finds Warnock early, wanting to get off that sideline which trapped him before. Finds Cam Mackie. Back to Captain Warnock. Inside and up to Shaw. Working it between the three of them. Mackie now looking forward to the end zone finally. And taking the safe shot back to Warnock. Oh, what a layout. Absolutely no contest there. That one was clean. Glasgow on the offense immediately. Kelly looking for the bookends. Well, Terry's right. Finley now staying perfectly calm, perfectly composed. Oh, really wanting the D there, Gio Cabrera. Terry, though, able to make sure it's safe. And the scuba will see it. Heavily contested. Stays with offense on the simultaneous grab there. Ian Lindsay must have thought he had that.
Definitely good effort though. It's interesting to see that Strathclyde misfiring really early on. Unlike them, but Glasgow, like I said, backing their receivers in the end zone there, putting it in straight away.
And that's an early break. It'll only really matter if we get to half, but actually no, it won't even matter then. We don't have halves indoors. So this was a big point as the pool goes up. Strathclyde don't want to be trapped on that line again. It's what caused them trouble for the very first play. Swinging it among themselves now. Zach Stewart. Back to Shaw. Shaw. Scuba up! That's another D from Joel Terry there. The man's on as many Ds as he is points played. Let's see if he can keep that up throughout the game. As Finley picks up and gives Terry the bookends. That man is putting in a shout for MVP of the final very early on.
Definitely, great play. Really interesting. So Glasgow shut down Strathclyde's first option of Cameron Mackey running deep. They got approached with the back of the stack. Second option's been a scuba, twice that they turned over now, Strathclyde. They need to change something. Otherwise, Glasgow going to run away with this.
Both men's and women's teams for Strathclyde really like their scubas. It is just part of their play.
I think so, yeah. It's their bread and butter. They trust it. If the scuba works for you, then go for it.
Strathclyde taking the first brick of the game there, and again, they'll be pleased not to find themselves in the back line. Johnny Shaw finds Mackey, looks upfield. Stewart under pressure but takes it calmly. Inside to Shaw. Shaw wanting that scuba again, taking the scuba again. Glasgow recognizing it's there, Finley taking it out of the air. Joel Terry not on, so Glasgow using other players to get Ds this point. Doug Fraser, bit of trouble. Has to lose some yards, but will take that to keep the disc. As this moves quickly back forward as well. Ian Campbell now. A little bit trapped, taking the scuba out, but this one's to big space. Yunkin getting the disc forward quickly. And it's a scuba over the top to Sam Finley. I never thought I'd say this, but in this final, you've got to say the difference is being made by Glasgow scubas being so much more effective than Strathclyde scubas right now.
Definitely. I mean, Johnny Shaw wants to think himself as a Scottish Dylan Freechild. He's more of a Scottish Luke Wood right now. They need to fix that. But credit to Glasgow, putting these points really, really professionally. Their offense looks very slick. It's going to take a big, big block from Strathclyde to get this back to ties.
I mean, we saw Glasgow be dominant in their semi-final, causing a timeout to be taken in the first 5 minutes of the game. That is just exceptional. Glasgow eager to get going. They don't want to wait around. Strathclyde trying to take the full 30 seconds here. And it's that hardest thing now. Just a patient offense is needed by Strathclyde. Let's see if they can manage it. As Gio Cabrera puts up a scuba, finds Ben Cornelius. Cornelius inside, finds Warnock. Warnock finds Cabrera. Another scuba. Finds Cornelius. And a final scuba for the score. Mackey seeing it home for Strathclyde. Point on the ball finally.
I know, it's a really good point though. Some of their lesser players on the handle line putting in some top scubas. It seems like bread and butter. It's strange, but yeah, it's working for them right now.
So quick hypothetical question. If we enforced a no upside down point, who do you think would take it between these two teams?
Ooh, isn't that a good question? Glasgow.
Oh, bold claim. The disc goes up and Strathclyde are going to have to look to someone to get this D. Johnny Shaw now on the mark. No to get it. Sam Finley takes an easy inside break, or around break. Puts it to the end zone. Terry can't quite get it. Uncontested foul call. Both players got up big. It's one of those calls, it's just very difficult to make when it's so tight. Like, and a small reminder that you at home, you have a chance to rewind this video, you've got a chance to look at it again, try and work out who is correct. All these guys have is what they thought happened at the time and the perspective of those around them. And it appears to be settled with Terry keeping the disc. Looking forward now. That is the sort of place Strathclyde are going to need to get this break though. As an up-the-line cup comes streaming through and the defense adapts for it. Oh, and Cam Mackey gets the D. Too casual from Campbell? I think I'd say so.
Definitely. I don't know what he's thinking there. Bit too cocky before you get the point in, but credit to Mackey. Heads up, D.
Blades dump to Scuba. And again, it's that Mackey-Terry matchup. That is one that is going to be a treat, and this one I feel settled a little bit more easily. Mackey will retain possession here. Looking forward, Scuba to the end zone, and Strathclyde get the break.
This game's all about upside downs. Also, credit to both teams. They've got intense rivalry, but great respect for each other on and off the field. These discussions are nice and calm, despite it being a final.
Yeah, it seems like I would guess that every single player on the pitch had an opinion for both of those calls, and yet they kept it to the players involved, waited to be asked. Lovely to see. Can Strathclyde get another? On a roll, as it's a Scuba pull, I believe, that finds Campbell right at the back of his own end zone. Strathclyde, a little bit of a zone here, wanting to pressure Glasgow into a more tricky throw, which they do, but Joel Terry can still see it down nicely. Takes this around backhand, trying to find the space in the zone. Strathclyde trying to clog up the middle, but they've now dropped to the end zone line, wanting to stop that quick goal. Throws here, which Glasgow are taking with ease. Simple swings, simple movement. The space is at the edges, and that's where Strathclyde are hoping to force Glasgow so that they can then trap them. So we will see here the disc move to the edge. Strathclyde get a little bit tighter, but not trying to force too much. Now it's going to get tight, but Glasgow find the gap. Joel Terry there running through the back. Excellent point from Glasgow. You needed to stop that Strathclyde roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. This Strathclyde zone's been very interesting throughout the season. I've seen some teams really struggle against it, like Flatball did, mixed into regionals. But then some teams I can see slice through it, like Glasgow did there. Find a little pocket of space, be patient, and they worked it in. And Paul Warnock just got caught on the wrong side of his defender there.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling in the world where someone manages to get behind you as Glasgow take another pull. Strathclyde, again, learning the lesson from the first point, wanting to centre it early. Mackey now, moving forward. Cornelius on the disc, puts it back to Mackey. Cornelius getting a little bit trapped here. Mackey's getting to a high stall count. What's he going to pull? It's going to be the backhand. Glasgow block it out. Stall out was called, but immediately retracted to accept the turn and get the game flowing again.
Interesting to see when Strathclyde don't have their first or second options, that stack is clogging so much space to have a little bail-up throw, so I want to see they change it to something a bit different.
I think it's the Glasgow defense which has really seen them into this, all the way to this final, and seeing them in a strong position here as Finley just lets go of the disc. Strathclyde gifted an opportunity here to hold the score, not let Glasgow get a break. Finds Shaw, fakes the Scuba, which, as we all know, very likely to go. Sometimes you don't have to buy on that Scuba, but with these two teams, you really do. Stewart now on the disc. Finds Shaw with a simple backhand. Shaw immediately goes for the blade. where it appears there's been like a small foul call. I mean, a lot of people throw those high releases, those upside downs. The fact it's always the first look, I think, says a lot about how this team like to play an offense. It's Stewart. Looks inside now. Strathclyde a little bit compact at the back. Scuba goes up. Taken down by Terry. Not quite on as many Ds as points played, but he's closer than anyone else on the pitch. Finley will be looking for a simple score. Instead looks for a nice break. Good work. Strathclyde choosing for more of a man mark here than they are for any sort of poach, although Lindsay's staying back, providing extra options as far as the defense goes. Fraser now, back to Yunkin. Looking forward, finds Finley. Strathclyde with a free on the line zone, looking to find the gap. There are a few issues with the lines here. That means that in-out calls are a little bit more complicated than they might necessarily need to be as the disc gets replayed. Very good work from Finley to find his way out there. As again, a Glasgow player just goes for a forehand fake and it comes out of their hands. Strathclyde, no such issues with the scuba. As Mackie takes himself out of the pitch. If only there was a teammate there to tell him to go for a greatest. Strathclyde have all their second team here as well, cheering for them on the sideline. But it's Glasgow who still have the advantage as they're running an offense again. Hammer to the end zone. Oh! A catch which is usually so consistent. It's turned into a hammer into the end zone as Glasgow managed to push it out. On the one we just saw, Alan Yunkin in one end zone, really consistent, usually with catches way harder than that. The things all of Glasgow, even though they're up, there's still a few just drops or like letting go of the disc on offense. A few errors creeping in. Strathclyde, though, getting desperate, trying to force those scores.
Definitely. Glasgow looked very sloppy. Maybe Duke was already thinking about what sort of spike he's going to go for. And then Ian Lindsay saw it was on. Hammer just a bit too floaty and a lot of bodies under the disc. It's a 50-50. You just do not want it in a final, especially when you're, what, 2 points down?
It's a 50-50, but Glasgow had 2 players under there for the 50-50, and Strathclyde only had 1, which, if my maths serves right, makes it 150, which means it was always going to be the turn. Looks as though there was a foul call, though. It's incredibly difficult not to foul someone when everything's happening that intensely. I wonder if the hammer play is going to come out again.
Doubt it.
I don't give 0 odds of it, though. Especially with this Glasgow defense pushing Strathclyde so tight. Their offense might be finding a couple of holes creeping in, but their defense certainly isn't. Mackie takes an up-the-line shot to Lindsay. Oh! That is a big collision there, but all the impact's taken. And it appears a spirit timeout has been called there. I think recognizing the amount of fouls, the amount of collisions that have just been happening, the person who actually just initiated that contact, wanting to acknowledge on both sides that maybe just calm it down a little bit, let's have a few words, let's make things settle.
Yeah, big fan of that. I think Joel just wants to get everyone in, just to have a little chat. I don't think there's anything malicious here or any sort of frustrations, just get the game back to where it should be.
I mean, there's a lot of teams here, a lot of captains who are going to be watching this final, watching what they think are the 2 best teams in the country, which have proven themselves to be the 2 best teams in the country, coming together, playing the way that has seen them into this final, and they just want to say, look, we are the leaders at this point, we've earned the right to be leaders. Let's make sure we're playing in a way we'd want people to emulate, which is going to make the sport enjoyable for all. And we're certainly enjoying it here as well, as Strathclyde take the goal and look for the next point. Looking to isolate Sam Finley in the middle now. Can Campbell find him? It appears not, as they move into dumping it between their handlers. Looking backwards, not able to find it. Strathclyde, really good defense, but it's the upfield to Terry which is able to bail Glasgow out. And Grant there, able to find the end zone. See the Glasgow score. Really nice defense from Strathclyde. It's exactly what we need to see, but there's not long left to save the game.
No, see, Strathclyde look better offense when they chill out, but the clock's against them now. They need to start taking some shots and get that break. I don't know where the block's going to come from. I haven't seen them force as many as Joel Terry or Glasgow have just yet.
And it's a knifey pull again as Johnny Shaw goes for a very casual catch, as you're allowed to do indoors. I think Joel Terry there may have sensed a D, but Mackie putting it up. Finds Stewart. Stewart puts it up to Shaw. Shaw, back to Mackie, looking inside. Finds Stewart in space in the middle. Stewart, looking forward. Finds Lindsay. Lindsay back now. Captain Warnock, wanting to control his team. Contrary to what we were just suggesting, Strathclyde taking a very good, sensible offense here. Mackie with lots of time on the disc. Lindsay now. Finding his way back to Stewart. Stewart inside to Warnock. Oh, just a little bit too eager. I don't think he was quite balanced when he took that throw. He's too eager to try and get it off.
Definitely, he saw the opening to Mackie, and I think he just got a bit caught up in the moment there for the easy score.
He said now Glasgow get a chance for a break. And it appears there's been a call on the field. Julian Grant will come in with the disc. As a violation is called. Here's Fraser Kelly, may have set up a little bit before he was allowed to. You're just so eager. There's all the start blocks going off, and people tend to be quite forgiving, especially when you can see that hand go down for the 3-2-1. No issue second time though, as Glasgow get the up the line. Yunkin goes for the round flick. What a grab! That was great work there from Doug Fraser as the scuba goes over Andy Warnock. Fraser, big grab, then a simple score.
Yeah, easy as that. But Strathclyde's 2 minutes to go. They need to force something. They want to go. Well, they go for the wall there, but they need to get a block and took a gamble and just didn't really work out.
Strathclyde getting to the we're counting down from 10 part of the game. As Mackie swings it inside to Shaw. Mackie though wanting to go long instantly. Shaw definitely saw that option and considered it, decided not to go with it as William Watt swings it inside to Johnny Shaw. Mackie now finds Watt, who caused a pick on his route through. Glasgow being quite respectful, trying to settle this call quickly so that they can, Strathclyde can try and get through the game. No unnecessary delays, lovely to see. Gio Cabrera puts it up big. Oh! What a grab from Ben Cornelius! That was quite nice.
That was an insane grab. That boy has got some big ups.
The thing is, you want to celebrate that. It was a little bit of hugging, but you need to get right back in the game because there is 1 minute left. As it swings right to the back of the end zone. Glasgow getting it moving though quickly. Strathclyde not able to take advantage of that initial positioning. Now Glasgow get the break as well. They don't want to be anywhere where they're going to be forced to take a risky throw. Looking forward, what can they do? Julian Grant inside to Finley. Is there an end zone shot here? They think there's a scuba, and there is. Really tense. Glasgow players still clearing off the pitch when they take the pull because Strathclyde want this going quickly. There are 15 seconds left. Disc goes up. Challenged by Fraser, but not able to take it. Inside to William Watt. 5 seconds left. What can they do? They need to take a shot. Warnock. And not able to take the shot in time. We see... Hold on, it may be a little bit of a call. Glasgow, it was actually Glasgow who just want to make sure that Strathclyde are entirely happy with how the game ended. Good way to end. Sam Finlay is hugging it out with Andy Warnock. And we finally see an end to this fantastic University Men's Indoor Nationals and a deserving Glasgow. You've got to say it. Strathclyde played amazingly. They've done well all tournament, but in the end, Glasgow are champions of the 2018 University Men's Indoor Nationals.
Yeah, very impressed with them. I had a feeling they're going to come and get a national title soon. It's been coming in a long, long while. Very strong indoor team. Guess for Strathclyde, those sort of early miscommunications, Glasgow shutting down their couple of options, that really cost them. But credit to both teams. High intensity final, both of them definitely deserved first and second place. It's a shame which way it fell for Strathclyde anyway.
Yeah, some revenge from the regional loss for Glasgow. So Alberto Rossi, Sam Finlay, Joel Terry, Doug Fraser, Julian Grant, Graham Hayas, Fraser Kelly and Ian Campbell. Well done. You are going to collect your gold medals for the University of Glasgow. Excellent work there. We're closing off now. I've been Harry Mason.
I'm Hayden Christie.
And thank you very much for tuning into our coverage. We are joined by a triumphant captain here. Joe Kelly, just tell us what you're feeling initially right now.
I'm very happy with the result. Yesterday, against the first game against UBU, it was an absolute shit show. To be honest, I'm sorry about language. It was so bad. We had our coach was doubting us. We were doubting ourselves. It wasn't pretty. To come here into the final, it's been tough. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of grafting it out in certain games. Every single game's been a challenge. Every game tight, every game a challenge. These guys especially, we play them outdoors, we play them indoors a lot. We love playing them. It's always a challenge. I'm speechless. I'm just wishing on. It's a great result.
Was it satisfying to get revenge from that regionals result as well?
I'm not sure if it was revenge. We just didn't turn up for that game. It could have gone either way that game, but yeah, it's very nice. It's more revenge for the outdoor BUCS game they beat us in. It was really sweet, but come outdoors, can't wait to play them. They'll be a strong outfit.
So you saw a little bit about that last semi-final, the start of Saturday. You know you're a team with talented players. How did you get them in line to play so well today?
I'm not sure, to be honest. We were just start working, start using our brains. We weren't switched on for the first game. Second game, again, we weren't really switched on, but we just use our brains, work it hard. We've got the experience. Our squad is super old. We've played in many final. And yeah, I think that's what won us in the end. We just had the experience to carry us through.
Any particular people you'd like to give a shout out to for helping you bring this team up to the level they're at?
Obviously, our two coaches, Phil and Sean Webb, they do an amazing job. The head of Glasgow Ultimate, the Strathclyde guys as well, and us guys, we both joined to play Club Ultimate with those guys, so it's massive thank you to those guys. Our team, our training squad back here at home, pushing us forwards every week to train so hard as we can. So massive shout out to those guys, everyone on the team. They did an incredible job.
Can I have a very quick word on the Spirit timeout? It was a very interesting decision. It looked like you were respecting each other's opinions, you were being quite fair, but you wanted to bring everyone in for a very quick word. What happened with that?
We wanted to bite in the bud very early on. We wanted this to be a showcase of Glasgow Ultimate, as obviously two Glasgow teams, and we just wanted to be like everyone on the same level. I thought personally a few calls were getting a bit bitey in terms of how we were talking to each other. Shouldn't still expecting a hot game, but I just wanted to bite in the bud before anything got really serious, as we have in the past had a few massive games. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the decision. I think it worked well.
And very well done to you. You're gonna get a gold medal. You're gonna celebrate with it. Any plans for celebration?
I was planning on doing well this evening, but then I have to go down the drain. Might invite the team around, have a few drinks. You know, it's not like a 6-hour drive back though. It's quite nice. It's only 40 minutes, so it's great for us. But yeah, no plans yet. I don't think we'll make it, to be honest.
Thank you very much, and well done, and an excellent final. Cheers. And we are joined here by the silver medal winners. Fought through a whole tournament so bravely. You guys have been outstanding this weekend. What's going through your heads right now after such an intense game as that?
Yeah, sorry, my voice is completely gone. Obviously gutted. Glasgow's a team we play a lot, we know very well. Played them at regionals and beat them. Very similar teams, but when it mattered today, I think they took it. On the weekend, yeah, I'm just proud of my boys. So happy to be part of that team. And we'll be delighted with the silver medal tomorrow. Maybe not today.
Yeah, you guys were just fantastic. Are there any sort of games you want to give a shout out to that you've enjoyed throughout this weekend, or opponents who've really pushed you to your limits?
Well, we came into the pools. We had a really tough pool. We had Bath and St Andrews, two teams that we thought were for sure top 4 teams. I played Bath in the very first game of the tournament, and that's always tough. They pushed us right to the end. And then the Saints game, that's probably the best we've played all tournament, the cleanest we've played. So that was probably our best win.
And are there any sort of particular people you want to give a shout out to for helping Strathclyde to represent on this national stage, bring you all the way up to a silver medal, and see the team play as well as it did?
Well, everyone in the team, of course. We've been knocking on the door for a while, and this is the first time we've really pushed through and had that gold medal. Mixed, yeah, we did the same. We were 4th there. No particular people, everyone in the team. Everyone.
Excellent. And looking forward, are you guys confident you're going to get revenge on them another time and maybe see a way to an outdoors gold?
Outdoors is the one we're going for, absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you very much and very well played. It was a pleasure to have you.
Cheers, Harry.